There's always a bigger fish.
Alright, welcome to another video. This is part 3 of my Ghoti series, and today we are playing Assault Ghoti with Side Reflector E-Tele. This is a very powerful engine, and I think a great option for Ghoti. Let's show off how it works. We're going to start by doing our Ghoti play. We're going to normal summon Shift. We're going to summon the Silent Angler. And we're going to Synchro Summon into Arion Post. Arion Post. Going to activate and banish a fish opponent. Hitting us with the Ghost Ogre. Alright. This is fine. Alright, this is fine. This is why we did this play first. Now, we banish that Paces, and now we go into the E-Tele. Get that Side Reflector from the deck. It's going to search for the Assault Beast. Assault Beast going to activate. Add that Assault Mode activate to hand. And now, we reveal it, and we summon the Assault Beast, and we can increase its level by 1 to 4. So you can either go into a Synchro 6 in this deck, or you can go into a Synchro 8. And Synchro 8s are quite powerful, so let's go into an 8. Go into that Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon, summon a tuner from the graveyard. We still have our Shift in the graveyard. Shift, summon to the field, and we're just going to pass like this. We got Excel Synchro Stardust, which can quick synchro into any level 10 using tuners on our field. And we got the option to go and Shift. And our Paces is coming back too. And we got the sneaky Snopios. Opponent, summoning a Punk. Alright, let's do this quick trick. Pro tip, alright? You activate your Paces with your monsters on the field to Synchro Summon. Opponent does something, they pop your Excel Synchro Stardust. Then they think they're safe, they think they're happy. Then you sneak the Snopios in on the next chain link, and it's going to be on the field by the time this resolves, which means you can use it as part of the Synchro Summon. Summon that Snopios. Azcan going to activate, banish that Punk, get it out of here. Azcan going to come back. Opponent banishing the Paces. Banishing the Pace is actually a little annoying. So Azcan, when it got sent to the banish zone, we can banish a fish from our graveyard, and it's going to come back to the field, and we did. And the fish that we banished was Snopios, because Snopios, when it gets banished, can banish a fish from the graveyard to come back. So we were going to banish the Paces with a Snopios, and then return it to the field, or return it to the hand, and have more plays on our opponent's turn. But opponent got us with the Imperm. I think they were trying to negate the Azcan, but made a mistake. But you never know. Ended up being quite a clever little play. Opponent summoned the Foxy Tune. Foxy Tune going to summon the Xiamen. Xiamen going to activate to get the Deer Note. Deer Note going to summon, and now it's time. It's Synchro Stardust time. Let's show off the power of this Assault Mode package. Synchro Stardust. Get the Stardust Dragon. Immediately Synchro into a 10. Satellite Warrior, unaffected by card effects this turn. Pop the Punks. Get them out of here, and opponent's field is cleared. They have no cards left, and they are done, and that is the power of the Excel package. Alright, let's show off though, because it's not perfect. It's not perfect. There's weaknesses. Let's go on to the next game. Alright. Now, we got a great hand. Opponent, go in first. Activating Necro Valley. Activating Longyun. Alright. Necro Valley Sword Soul tells me that this person has been hurt by tier limits, and we've all been hurt by tier limits. My confession is coming up next, alright? So stick around. You'll see my confession about tier limits. Let's activate the Maxi. Get some draws here. And you're going to see the weaknesses of the Assault Mode package, alright? Opponent, getting their token, getting their Synchro Summon, giving us a couple cards. Nice little pot of greed for 3 cards. Burning us. And they're also activating D Fisher. This is a person who has been hurt before, alright? I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I have to do this to you. Let's draw. Alright, now, what are the weaknesses of the Assault Mode package, alright? D Fisher shuts off the Assault Mode package. We need to send our Assault Beast to the graveyard to resummon it. It gets banished instead. That's not going to work. Necro Valley shuts off the package. Assault Beast needs to get resummoned from the graveyard. Necro Valley says cards can't leave the graveyard, alright? DD Crow, opponent doesn't have a hand, but DD Crow also banishes tier limits, the shufflers that they get for free just by doing their plays. Also stops the Assault Beast. So this package is very fragile. It's very fragile. It gets hit by everything. Ash Blossom, Maxi, all the shufflers. Alright, that's the weakness. But we also have Ready Fusion. And I think Ready Fusion is even better than the Assault package. Alright, let's negate the Sinister Sovereign. so he doesn't banish our monsters. Let's summon the Paces, and let's show off Ready Fusion. Ready Fusion can go into a variety of monsters, and the one we're going into is the Roaring Ocean Snake. What else do we have? What other monsters could we make with the Ready Fusion? Well, we got a rare fish, level 4, and we got the level 2 tuner fusion monster, Essence of Vanity. So we can go into synchro plays. Alright, let's go into the White Aura Whale, pop this Long Yun. Opponent hitting us with Imperm. Alright, that is all good. Now we can't activate Snopios right now because of Necro Valley, but we can activate Abyss Shark. Summon itself, search for a fish, get that Silent Angler, sneak on in, special summon the Stealth Kraken. Stealth Kraken pop the Long Yun. Let's get in for big damage. And on our opponent's turn, our fish, our Paces is coming back. We can go into Ghoti of the Deep Beyond, banish our opponent's entire field, clear all these floodgates. Opponent, what do you got left? And then next turn, our Assault Mode package is free, but opponent, not going to wait to find out. They are done. Alright, let's go on to the next game. Alright, it's time to talk about how we've all been hurt by tier limits. It's happened to the best of us. You know, our last opponent, you could see it in their deck. You could see that they've been hurt. And we've been hurt too. Alright, this is an amazing hand. This hand is probably the most perfect, beautiful hand ever. Alright, we have E-Telly to do our Assault Mode package line. We have Beautiful to search a level 4 from the deck, get another fish to the graveyard, and we have Ready Fusion, so we can just get Paces here and go into an 8, go into another 8, go into a 6. We have Snopios. It's beautiful. Alright, let's activate, get our Psy Reflector, search for the Assault Beast, and opponent is playing tier limits, and they have the Havness. Alright, Havness gonna mill randomly, and then they're probably gonna fusion summon something. Alright, they milled the Mudora, they milled the Havness. Alright, Mudora means Assault package is offline. Alright, they just shuffle away the Assault Beast. It's done, it's dead. We're gonna get him anyway. Opponent, fusion summoning, using a Shadow Beast in hand. And this is the ultimate. This is why tier limits need to be at 0. They made a Shadow Winda going second on our turn. Shadow Winda says each player can only special summon monsters once per turn. That means we can only summon once more. That's it. We can normal summon this, but its effect to summon won't matter. We can't do a synchro summon. We're going to send that Assault Beast to the graveyard. We're going to activate the Psy Reflector. Summon the Assault Beast. But opponent's not even bothering to shuffle because they know it doesn't matter. We cannot synchro summon. And then, you know what? That's it. We got hurt. But just because tier limits is, devastating you, doesn't mean you give up. I know I gave up there, but it doesn't mean you always give up. Let's go on to the next game. Alright, make sure you subscribe to the channel because I'll be back with more Ghoti deck lists, including Ghoti, which I think is going to be pretty fun. Alright, let's Psy Reflector. Opponent hitting us with the Maxi, that's okay. We got Ash Blossom. Now we also have Crossout, but we're saving Crossout because Crossout, you've watched my Ghoti videos before, Crossout is not just a negate. Crossout is a way to make plays. Assault Beast, get ourselves that Assault Mode activate. Go into a synchro. Let's go into the Arion Post. Go into a 6, it can go into an 8, and go into a 6. Let's Paces. Banish the Paces. Activate Crossout Designate. Banish the Shift. And now we got both our fish coming back to the field. We got Snopios to sneak on in on the opponent's turn. Let's see what the opponent's got. Shift come back. Paces come back. Opponent playing tier limits. Summoning Sheeran to mill 3. They're milling an Yugioh, which means they're going to mill even more cards. Let's activate Shift. You got to be careful with these fish because the chain order is going to mess with you. Opponent is going to summon with that Sheeran that got sent to the graveyard to make a Kikalos. And now, new chain. Tier limits Kikalos is going to send. We're going to search with Arion Post. We're going to search Spanish with the Azcan. And I always do it this order because this protects you from an Ash Blossom. You do this effect first, you do this one second. That way, your search is protected. Alright. Doesn't matter though. Opponent has the Shuffler. Gonna shuffle our fish away. And now we don't have any fish. We're not going to have any fish in the graveyard. Which means when we banish the tier limits Kikalos with our Azcan, it's not going to resummon itself because there's no fish to banish. But we got one trick. Opponent trying to shuffle our fish away. We have a use for them. Let's sneak on in with the Snopios. We got an even sneakier play. We're going to activate the Paces first. Because Paces is going to synchro with our monster on the field. But by the time it activates, we're going to have this sneak on in Snopios. Let's banish. Stop that shuffler from shuffling. Sneak the Snopios onto the field. Synchro with the Paces. This is top tier play, by the way. Google him onto the field. Now, Google him. I cut Google him. You could have just made another Azcan. It would have been fine. Googling not that great, alright? If you're playing this deck, Googling not mandatory. Alright. Now, our Azcan, when it gets banished, there's fish in the graveyard now. We got him. Let's banish the Snopios. Snopios got banished, so it can banish our last fish from the graveyard to return itself to hand to set ourselves up for plays on our turn. This is the opponent's turn, by the way. We're making plays. Tier elements aren't the only ones who can do it. Foolish Barrel gets sending a Rhino Heart. Their Kit Kalos is banished, so the only one they can make is the Kaleido Heart. Kaleido Heart gonna banish one of our fish or shuffle into the deck. Alright, Google him, does nothing. Attacking the Azcan. Opponents cleared our field. They're dealing 1500 damage, but we're not gonna give up because all our fish are coming back. Let's draw the Paces. Paces come back. Shift come back. Let's activate Paces to summon our Snopios. Sneak that Snopios into the field. Opponent doesn't have any interaction in the graveyard right now. Snopios target itself. Key trick, alright. Snopios can target other cards to make them get banished when they leave the field, but it can also target itself or other fish you control. And then when it leaves the field, it gets banished, triggers its other effect. Synchro Summon. Make that Excel Synchro Stardust. Snopios. Gonna banish the Azcan to add itself back to hand. And we could activate the Azcan here. Banish the Paces, resummon itself, but then our Excel Synchro will not activate to resummon a tuner for free. Now, that probably would have been fine. We have a shift in hand to normal summon, but just something to keep in mind. You got to be aware of your resources. All right, let's get that shift back on the field for free. Immediately activate. Get a Stardust Dragon. Synchro 10. We didn't need to do that. We were just doing it for flex. Get that Supreme Sovereign Che-Ying. Activate the Snopios. Manage to fish one from the hand, one from the graveyard. Trigger the Che-Ying. Clear that Rhino or Kaleido Heart. It's gone forever. Normal summon. Make the Azcan, and Azcan gonna banish that Rhino Heart. Activate the Azcan. Banish the Shift. Summon. Get in for big damage. Tearlins, you got one card left. Can Tearlins come back? You never know. Tearlins, they're a nightmare deck. They can do anything. Shift come back to the field. Paces come back to the field. Oh, opponent activating. Reinforcement of the army. Rhino Heart can't summon anything with this. Kit Kalos banished. Opponent Fairy Tail Snow flipping us face down, going to battle and committing honorable seppuku. I think we did it. We demoralized Tearlaments. Sent him to the banish zone. Alright, love to see it, but we got more games. Let's go on to the next one. Alright, we got a great hand here. We're going first. Let's summon the Beautiful. Summon that Paces, activate. Summon the Lifeless from hand, send the Shift to the graveyard. Activate the Shift. And let's set Crossout Designate. Pass the turn. We get our classic fish play. Shift come back. Paces come back. Opponent. Activating Pot of Extravagance. Gonna banish a bunch of cards to draw 2. Dark Ruin no more. Gonna negate all of our fish so we can no longer activate our fishes. Alright. Opponent hitting us with Harpy's Feather Duster. Crossout not going to do anything, except you forget Crossout is an extender in this deck. Let's activate. We don't know what's going to happen to our fish. They might not get banished. Let's banish Paces. Paces will come back on our next turn, so at least we know we're getting Paces back. Alright. Opponent, what can you do to us? What horrible things is our opponent going to do now that all our monsters are negated? They can do anything. Terraforming. Getting a map. It's birds. The ultimate matchup. Birds versus fish. Opponent. Revealing the Rabina in hand, banishing the Floundries and Stripe. It's Strike. Alright, let's respond. Activate our Ghotis. They're negated. We just don't want them to keep asking us if they can activate. We know they can activate, and we're not going to want to activate them because they're negated. So we're just clearing these activations out of the way. It was not a mistake, alright? Not a misplay. Opponent. Getting there, Toucan. Summoning the Eaglin. Eaglin gonna search for a big bird, and they're going for the M-Pen. I thought they were gonna go for the one that sends our monsters into the deck to clear our whole field, but they're going for a more grindy game. Are you sure you want to go for a grindy game against fish opponent? M-Pen on the field. Gonna search for a spell. All the birds gonna go back to the hand. Opponent's got a lot of birds in hand. A lot of birds in hand. They still have their normal summon, but they've used all their bird effects. Opponent searching for the map. Unexplored wind, sorry. Going to battle, hitting our lifeless leaf fish. Going to main phase 2, and it's time. We want our boy Snopios on the field. Sneak on in, Snopios. Opponent can't use their map to draw because they activate a pot. Pot stops them from drawing for the rest of the turn, so they can't shuffle their hand. So I'm guessing that their whole hand is birds now, and they have no plays because they're ending the turn with no set back row, 6 cards in hand. Alright, well, opponent's map, if we normal summon, is going to let them do bird plays for hand. So we just got to not normal summon and we'll be good. Alright, let's special summon that Shift, special summon that Paces, and now let's get Flounderies. Teach them a lesson. As can, summon in defense mode, don't get played. Flounderies and M-Pen negates any monster that's summoned in attack position. Special summon in attack position monsters get negated. As can defense mode. Let's banish the Paces and the M-Pen. Get that Snopios back to hand, because Snopios got sent to the graveyard for a synchro summon. It targeted itself, so it got banished. So it banishes a fish, resummons itself to hand. Alright, let's summon the Snopios with the Paces effect. Synchro into Excel Stardust. We have a level 2 in the graveyard. Let's get it on the field. Synchro into the Supreme Sovereign. Azcan got banished. What am I saying? My Snopios targeted the Azcan, so when Azcan got synchro summoned, it banished itself. Resummon that Azcan, trigger the Chungus, banish our opponent's map, get lethal damage, and opponent is out of here. All our fish were coming back. We had synchro plays for the opponent's turn. Birds dominated by fish. Let's go on to the next game. Alright. We got a very interesting hand. We got Max C. If we draw into our Snopios, we can do plays on our opponent's turn with Zep opponent. Noctovision Dragon. We're waiting until they activate an effect that summons to get the Max C, but some decks, there's no effect that summons, and your best option is just a Max C in standby phase, but you never know. Striker Dragon, gonna summon itself. We're just gonna Max C now. Opponent either gives us cards or they stop their plays. Opponent. Noctovision Dragon, quick effect to summon. Getting around the Max C. So far we've drawn 0 cards. Opponent, you gonna synchro anymore? You gonna link anymore? Opponent passing. Max C drawn 0 cards, but at the end of the turn, we just have fish left. Let's see if fish can deal with this. Deal with this board with only fish. View Tuneful Princess, get the Paces. Paces gonna activate. Summon the Lifeless Leaf Fish. Lifeless Sand, ship to the graveyard. Activate Abyss Shark. Summon itself. Search for a fish. Special summon the Silent Angler. Axie into the Stealth Kraken. Activate our Shift, targeting Lifeless Leaf Fish to boost its attack. Clear out that Noctovision Dragon. Get in for big damage. Leave opponent with nothing except the 5 cards in hand. All our fish are coming back from the Banish Zone. Back from the deep beyond. Alright. The grind game of the fish is real. Opponent summoning a Black Dragon Call-Up Serpent. If this card gets sent to the graveyard, they are going to get to search. We do not want that. Let's Arion Post. Activate to banish the Zep. The Zep coming back to the field. Synchro into the Azcan. Azcan going to drag it to the deep beyond. We're going to search for the Arion Post. Like I said, always chain order this in this order. Don't let your search get negated by Ash Blossoms. Azcan. Gonna... There we go. Search with Arion Post for the Snopios. Azcan. Banish a fish to come back to the field. Opponent activating Boot Sector Launch. Boot Sector Launch. Summoning 2 rockets. Summoning a 3rd one. Let's pop with the Stealth Kraken to deal some damage. Opponent Dragon Ravine. Alright. We do not want this Dragon Ravine to activate. Let's send them all to the deep beyond. Activate Paces. Paces effect. Synchro Summon. Ghoti. Drag them. Drag them all to the ocean. They're all gone. Opponent sat 1 back row. Snopio's going to activate, summon itself, give us bodies on the field to do plays next turn. An opponent is done. Let's go on to the next game. Alright. We get a great hand. This will be a beautiful hand going second. Snopios get those Zeps out. Will get us a level 8 Synchro on the opponent's turn, but we'll just settle. For Beautiful again, Lifeless Leaf Fish. Send that Shift to the graveyard. Shift gonna banish. We're gonna set this Call by the Grave and we're gonna pass. We can still Snopios during the opponent's turn. Opponent, what are you up to? Eldritch in. Targeting our back row. Call by, let's banish that Eldritch. Negate the Eldritch effects. Usually good against Eldritch. Negate and banish the Eldritch. Opponent. What do you got next? Opponent summoning a Pankratops. Alright, Pankratops, bit of a sneaky card. It can activate as a quick effect. So what we were trying to do, we're trying to shift, trick them into activating. They would probably target the Lifeless Leaf Fish. And then we sneak the Snopios in onto the field. And then we Synchro Summon using the Snopios. And opponent, you know, they look like a fool. But opponent just not doing anything, not activating. Alright. Arion Post. Activate. Banish the Paces. Paces. We banished it because we got 2 Zeps in hand. Let's activate those Zeps in hand. Get a Paces. Set ourselves up for next turn because we already got Shift. Let's activate our Snopios. Opponent's still not doing anything. Snopios. Get that Zep. We don't want him attacking over our monsters. We're going to make him activate this effect before attacking. Zep going to activate. Opponent's still not doing it. White or Will. Let's force the issue. Pop that Prankatops. Get searching with the Arion Post. Chain Order. Dodge the Ash Blossom. Opponent finally going for it. Popping the Whale. But Whale, he's got a trick. Trick move. Search with the Arion Post. Get that Ixeep. Whale comes back by banishing a fish. Ixeep gonna summon itself from hand. Now, I love this card, but I cut it. It's just not that good. Let's get that White or Whale on the field, opponent. Evenly matching. Alright. See, we give up all the cards that are not that good. We get rid of the Ixeep. Opponent. Send a Hequero. Send 2 more back row. Alright. But it's Ghoti time. We still got our Snopios. Shift come back to the field. Paces come back to the field. Let's Synchro Summon. Drag him to the deep beyond. Opponent. Get dragged. Opponent hitting us with Solemn Strike. Alright. Negated. All good. Snopios got banished because of its own effect targeting itself. Gets added back to the hand. Let's summon the Zep, and opponent doesn't want to see any more plays. They had nothing. Alright, that Zep concede. You know when some of the little 0 attack goldfish opponent concedes. That's when you know you've won the psychological battle. Let's go on to the next game. Alright. Opponent going first. Activate an Ice Jade Cradle. And we know what to negate in this deck because I wrote the guide. I wrote the guide to Ice Jade's opponent. Activate an Agerine. You want to see the guide? Check out the best way to play Ice Jade. Just search. Search for Ice Jade is the best way to play Ice Jades. Opponent. Ice Jade Agerine negated. They don't get their field spell. No setting up the lock. Alright, draw into 1/1. 1/1 great card. Searches your Beautiful, searches your Assault mode. But I cut it because I didn't like how it makes you go -1. And you need a monster discard. So that's why it's cut. But it's here right now. Let's activate Beautiful. Get the Lifeless Leaf Fish. Send the ship to the graveyard. Activate the Assault mode package. Get our Psy Reflector with the E-Telly. Get that Assault Beast. Assault Beast. Gonna let's go into a Synchro. And let's go into the Synchro. The best Synchro. Synchro Summon into the Excel Stardust. Get that Shift back from the graveyard. Immediately. Synchro Summon the Stardust Dragon. Synchro the Chungus. Because if you attack this Agerine, it activates. Alright, don't fall for the trick. You target it, you attack it, it activates. We don't want that. Chungus. See the Shift get banished. Banish those cards. Let's get attacking. Attack. Opponent's life points dwindling. Our fish are coming back. Shift gonna come back to the field. Give us a way to activate our big Chungus opponent. What do you got? Opponent going to battle using evenly matched Chungus, the last card left. Opponent playing Sword Soul Ice Jades. I don't think that's a good combo. I know I wrote the guide. Opponent summoning Ecclesia. Let's activate Maxi. See what other sneaky cards our opponent has in the deck. It's my girl Mo Yi. My girl Mo Yi, reveal a worm in hand. Synchro summon into the Chiao. Gonna search, and we're drawing the Snow. Now we got the Snopios in hand. We got more plays. We have not activated the Chungus yet. Opponent drawing a card with the Mo Yi, my girl. Getting that blackout. Activating the Strategist. 2 discard. Summon the token. Alright, it's time. Activate the Snopios. Banish the Snopios from hand to summon the Snopios. Snopios. Gonna target. This was a mistake. I just missed the order. I thought I was using my Chungus, but I was actually using my Snopios. I should have targeted Snopios with its own effect. Alright, it's all good. We make mistakes. Chungus. Banish. The Longyun. Banish a tie from the graveyard. Opponent set in a back row. Alright. We are in a great place right now. Our pace is coming back. Now, we gotta be careful. We know what opponent set. Opponent added to hand related cards. The blackout. Blackout can pop 2 cards on the field. Now, Big Chungus is immune to blackout, but opponent can negate the Big Chungus's effect with Sword Soul Grandmaster. So let's force them to make plays before we do anything. Let's White Aura Whale, wipe the field. Opponent negating with a Grandmaster, targeting the Chungus, but opponent, you did that the wrong order. You gotta activate the blackout first, then negate the Chungus. Otherwise, your chain's gonna be all out of whack. An opponent realizes their mistake. Big Chungus would have been negated too late. An opponent is done. They failed. Well, let's do one more game. Alright, one last game with our beautiful fish, Assault Fish. Let's start with the E-Telly. Get that Side Reflector. Add to hand the Assault Beast. Assault Beast activate. Get that Assault Mode. Synchro Summon. With the Assault Beast. Into the Ariampos. Ariampos is going to banish from the deck the Paces. We're going to normal summon the Shift. Go into Excel Stardust. Search with the Ariampos. Get a monster back from our graveyard. Get that Shift. Get the Snopios. Banishing. We got Paces banished. Paces is going to come back. We're going to set our back row. And we're going to leave our field like this because Excel Synchro Stardust can synchro into anything by searching from the extra deck, attributing itself to summon the Stardust Dragon, and then immediately synchro summon. So we're not locked into fish synchros right now. Alright. Get back our Paces. We got Snopios to sneak in. Opponent hitting us with the Lava Golem. Alright, well, I guess we should have maxed in the standby phase. Lesson learned. Now we still got plays, because Lava Golem a level 8, Paces can use it. Kaiju's as well. Opponent set in 4 back row. Alright, now this is the biggest misplay of my life, and that's why I saved this game for last. Only the diehard fans are here right now. I know, I see you. Alright, and you're going to watch this beautiful misplay. Alright, what we should have done is activate Paces, Ghoti of the Deep Beyond, wipe opponent's 4 back row. It would have been beautiful. Then chain, cross out, designate, banish from the deck, Paces or a Shift, and that would have been great. Opponent has nothing. We're set up perfectly for next turn. But I accidentally banished Paces before activating Paces, and now my Paces is negated, so I can't activate it. I mean, I can activate it, but it'll do nothing. Alright. So, big mistake, but that's okay. We're going to keep going. We're going to believe in ourselves. We're not going to let a misplay stop us. Opponent, Imperial Iron Wall. Neither player can banish cards. Now, I don't need to tell you that this is good against Ghoti. Alright, it is. This is like, you can no longer go into the ocean. But it's okay, we got this. Pace is coming back to the field. Opponent, hitting us with Dogmatic of Punishment. Popping our Paces. Sending an Elder Entity Nentis to pop our other Paces. Lava Golem going to hurt us, just like out of disrespect. But we got another play. Normal Summon Shift. Synchro into the Baran. Now we got Baran negate. Let's pop this Imperial Iron Wall. Get our ocean back. Return to the ocean. Ocean is now online. Opponent, Paleozoic Dinomysis. I don't think so. Baran negate. I'm trying to discard a card to banish our Baran. I don't think so. Opponent's final card, Trap Trick. Banish any trap from the deck to set a trap. Compulse. Alright. Activate immediately, getting rid of our Baran. Alright, that's okay, because we got Snopios still. Let's Snopios banish both of our fish, so they're going to come back. Target Snopios with its own effect. Let's get in. Okay, I forgot. We already used our battle phase. Opponent got us with the battle phase Compulse. Let's return our fish to the field. Opponent, Pot of Duality. Gonna draw, but we got fish. Opponent, what one card can you get? Ariana. Not gonna save him. Ariana Grande get negated by the Imperm. Opponent's got one card left. They're trying to pass to the end phase. We're gonna activate Synchro Summon with the fish. Get the Azcan. Banish their Ariana. Snopios, because it targeted itself with its own effect, got banished when it was Synchro Summon, meaning we can banish a fish from the graveyard to add it back to hand. Snopios, come back. Azcan, banish. When it's banished, we can banish a fish from the graveyard. To resummon the Azcan, that means Paces is set up, Ship is set up for next turn, opponent sat in the back row. It's time to take him to the deep beyond. Ghoti of the deep beyond, drag that card away. And opponent got no cards left. It's time. It's time to get in for lethal damage. We misplayed so hard, but our opponent, the Mad Lad, sticking it out. I don't know how to say your name, Japanese character name, but you're a real hero here. Letting our fish do their one last play. Let's look at all these beautiful fish. We got so many cards on the field. We can synchro into anything we could ever want. As can come back from the banish zone. Make the big Chungus. Make the Googlim. Let's activate. Get our Snopios back. Boost the attacker with our shift. I'm sorry, we're being rude, but we got to get the big damage. Let's get in. Get in with the Googlim. And get in with the Ghoti of the Deep Beyond. Opponent is done. Alright, let's go on to the deck list. Alright, here it is. Assault Ghoti. Let's go through the cards, and I'll talk about the deck a little bit. Alright, we got triple Beautiful, 2 Asai Reflectors. We don't want too many of these. Maxi at 2. Triple Paces, 2 Shift, triple Zep, 2 Ash Blossom, 1 Assault Beast, 2 Silent Angler, triple Lifeless Leaf Fish, 1 Abyss Shark, triple Snopios, 1 Gold Sark, 2 Ready Fusions, 2 Emergency Teleports, 2 Call by the Graves, 1 Crossout Designate, Assault Mode Activate, 2 Evenleys, 2 Imperms in the extra deck, Avalane, Essence of Vanity, Rare Fish, and the Roaring Ocean Snake. And I know what you're saying, we gotta do an aside here. Roaring Ocean Snake, you're gonna say, hey, wait a minute, this is not optimal. There's a better card you could be using. You're gonna say, hey, wait a minute, you could be using Aqua Dragon. It has slightly more attack points, and it is also a Sea Serpent Water Monster, meaning it is strictly better. But what you didn't consider is that this card has much cooler art, and that is why it is the correct choice. Remember that when you're building your deck. Alright, Arion Post at 2, Stardust Dragon, White Aura Whale, XL Synchro Stardust, Azcan Part 2, Satellite Warrior, Baran, Swords of Supreme Sovereign, Go to the Deep Beyond, and the Stealth Kraken. Alright, let's talk about the choices here. 2 of these, because you don't want to normal summon it, you want to get it with E-Telly. Konami, unhit E-Telly, it could be a 3. That'd be better for this deck list. Alright, we are running 2 Shift and triple Zep, because Zep Banish with a Snopios is so good on the opponent's turn going second that I just want to maximize the chances of that happening. Alright, 1 Assault Beast, 2 Silent Anglers, triple Lifeless. Lifeless is key to this deck. Silent Angler, just a great free special summon. 1 Abyss Shark. If I were to modify this deck, what I would probably do is, well, we'll talk about this later. Triple Snopios, love this card. Gold Sark, banish a fish. You can banish your Snopios if you're, got fish in the graveyard. Get Snopios back, as well as setting yourself up for plays with your banishing your tuners. Ready Fusion, being a 2, a 4, or a 6, and a tuner, it's just so good. This card is amazing in this deck. It's basically everything you could ever want. Free extender. It's probably the best free extender you can play. 2 E-Tellys. We talked about the weaknesses of the Assault package. The Assault package is weak to every form of interaction. Every hand trap. It's weak to Maxi, it's weak to Ash Blossom, it's weak to all the Grave Hate, it's weak to DD Crows and everything. So this is the most fragile part of the deck, and E-Telly being so good, is what makes it worth it. Having a normal summon Psy Reflector, you just really don't want to have to do that. So E-Telly is key. So that's kind of the secret to this deck. Crossout Designated 1, always play that in Ghoti, just because you can banish your tuners. 2 Imperm, 2 Evenly Matched and 2 Imperm. The Evenlies, the deck has trouble going second, especially into wide boards. It doesn't have a good way to deal with back row, other than making Deep Beyond. And the fact that your opponent, if they go first, they're going to set up evenly matched can just, make it so that you have the way to set up plays without too much interaction. 2 imperm, just a great hand trap, and we need it for the cross-out designate in case we get impermed. All right. Yeah, in the extra deck, I ended up cutting the Kragan because you usually banish this, it doesn't activate. And yeah, Googleum got cut as well because it's not that good and we have 2 Azcans. Alright, thanks for watching. Hope you liked the video. Make sure you subscribe, come back for Ghoti, and I'll see you next time. Have a good night.